Good, whatever time of day it is you are listening. This is the P&A Podcast Express. Quick trip. We're doing our quick trip, doing our best. He's Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. Julie Stoliker joining us here for this episode. We're at the old STD Silver Tavern in Deckerville. It's Monday night. Not many people are here. Not a lot of enthusiasm, but we're going to do our best to bring the enthusiasm.
Bring the enthusiasm.
So what's new, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Great day.
Great day.
Yeah.
You got to see bald eagles today. That's always good.
I did. I saw a bald eagle cruising on an iceberg down the St. Clair River today.
Straight ahead.
I was on a website that had bald things, but not eagles.
They weren't eagles.
No.
Yeah, well,
That's what I had
technically there was two bald eagles.
Oh.
Two different icebergs.
Nice.
It was a beautiful day.
That was a beautiful day.
Nobody can beat that.
No.
I had a terrible day today, but I'm glad you had a good day. This is a good yin and yang here right now. So you got to eat a bunch of mussels. Explain these mussels.
Mussels.
In the shell.
Oh, at the Junction Buoy. Little plug for the Junction Buoy there in Marysville.
By the way, we're selling ads.
Yes.
Excellent mussels there. Best I've ever had. Pound of them. $13.99, I think.
That's a good price.
All of them open.
Ready to go.
With a little ciabatta bread, little cheese, and a very good broth. Just
So
excellent.
a pound of them for $13.99?
Yes.
That's pretty solid.
It is. It's solid, and you're full. I mean, it takes a little bit of work. You know, it's like one little
Well, nothing
off the shell.
easy
You know.
is worthwhile.
That's right.
Exactly. It's good. They are amazing.
It better take a little bit of work, I feel like.
Yeah.
It is very good. Hats off to them. Best I've ever had.
Wow. I need to go down there. I need to get
You
out
do.
more. I realize I don't get out. I don't do shit. Like, my life is so constrained. I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything.
So I have a hard time getting Phil to go on location for podcasts.
But their view
Right.
there is just second to none. It's right out on the river. You can see the bend in the river both ways, up and down. It's just beautiful. Winter, summer,
I'm
beautiful.
trying
view.
to think of the little restaurant in St. Clair that's right on the river.
River crab.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
So this is what my life
I haven't
is.
been there in too long.
Wow.
I was there a month ago. Fantastic place to go.
Yeah, really good place. Also, if they would like to advertise.
This is what my life's become. When I see someone like has posted something on Snapchat or Facebook, and they're like say 45 minutes away, I'm thinking to myself, man, they ventured out a long ways, man. That must be nice.
Oh yeah, big
So,
trip
right?
day. Like it's like a over. It's
Like
not quite an overnight.
Hitch
but,
up the
you know.
horse and buggy, man. We're gonna be there all fucking day.
So I'm kind of bummed. What would be, when this airs, it will have been yesterday. We were supposed to go to the wood chips in Lapeer.
Oh,
You ever been?
No,
No,
Really, really good.
Lapeer.
that's like way away in the other direction.
downtown.
The other
Is that a
way.
barbecue joint?
Yeah.
Oh God, I love barbecue so much.
Oh, it's so good.
Whenever I used to travel, when I used to be somebody,
Where at?
before I
Like
became lame,
downtown,
Right downtown.
yeah,
Right
Like
downtown.
when I go down to any of the Carolinas, I don't want to eat anything but barbecue. I'm not
No.
gonna lie.
No, the best barbecue place I think I've ever been to is in, down by Detroit. Starts with a W, and I'm drawing a blank right now.
I don't know.
Woodhaven? Does that sound right?
In Woodhaven?
I believe so.
And what is the name of it? Like Fat Matt's Barbecue, or like
It's like Route 50 something, and there's also one in Saline that is really, really good.
Dirty Britches Kick Your Cock Barbecue or something? Because that's
Yeah.
how you name a barbecue joint.
No, I can honestly say the best barbecue place I've ever been to is in near Fort Wayne, Indiana. And this like old man runs it. It's literally like two like the little 12 by 12 wood sheds that you get.
Right.
It's like two of those put together, and he's got a big barbecue thing out back. And so we were told that we needed to eat there. We were down there working.
Like, no, that's where you have to eat.
And people are like, you got to go there. If you like barbecue, you got to go there. We're like, all right,
I'm fat. Of course I like barbecue.
So we go to lunch one day. We're like, all right, we'll go down. It's right down from where we're working. We're like, all right, we'll go down there. No joke. People lined up for 2 blocks.
Right.
To get this. And we're like,
It's
we're
going to
not
be
eating there.
It's going to be a good barbecue joint when A, you get there and it's a long line, and B, when people tell you to get there early, and C, when you do finally, reach the pinnacle of that line and get to the front, and they're sold out of like 3 of the 7 things they sell. You're like, fuck.
Well, we took the second
Yeah.
suggestion, which was a sushi joint about like a block down.
Yeah.
So literally the line for the barbecue joint was in front of this place.
Right.
And we're like, well, this probably isn't going to be that good. But it was pretty phenomenal, too.
Right.
Oh, there's some inside joke shit going on.
Nice.
No, I just looked up Best Barbecue Woodhaven, and
Lowe's came up.
Lowe's Home Improvement comes up because their website's mentioned Best Barbecue Grill.
Lowe's comes up and says, if you want to barbecue at home like the pros do,
You know what?
never mind that they have 37 years of experience.
Okay, then I don't know. Then Big Boy comes up too. That's kind of
So that's one of the
Okay.
things I would love. So I've picked random foods and tried to, like, for my own taste, tried to perfect, i.e. lasagna, pizza, different variant pastas, as well as, like, you know, steaks, things like that. Like, how do I want to do them? What is good for that? Like crock-pot recipes. But the ultimate thing to do is barbecue, smoking meats. Like, if you can be good at smoking meats, I feel like you could conquer the world.
I tend to disagree. I'm not a big barbecue fan.
Really? It's weird.
I grill, but
But
I
you
like
like a
it.
big old plate of mussels.
Yes,
Ugh.
but I don't know. Barbecue takes so long. It's like an all-day adventure. You got to put it in the smoker for like 3 or 4 hours. It's just.
Well, it's supposed to be an event. You drink booze
But-
while you do it. It's like
I
making
know.
Thanksgiving dinner.
See, I like throwing the steaks on the grill, 4 minutes aside, boom, boom, boom,
Boom.
you're done. Done.
Salt and pepper, maybe some Montreal steak seasoning, and you're good to go.
Yeah, well, and if you really want to do it right, a little hollandaise sauce with asparagus on the top.
I cuss, you cuss. We all cuss
Yeah.
for asparagus.
Yep.
I get it.
It
Not
smells
me.
good.
Not me.
You don't like asparagus?
No, I do. I love asparagus.
Oh,
I
fuck
know.
yeah.
I
Because
won't
it makes
cuss
your
for it,
it
but-
makes your pee smell funny when you're done.
I know. It makes you feel alive. You're like, holy shit, my pee smells like ass. Oh, wait, that's just asparagus.
I know, but at least it makes you feel like your body's absorbing some of it. It's like
It makes you feel like
Yeah,
your
like
body's doing something.
it makes you feel a little healthy. It's like, yeah, we're taking this in. We're,
Asparagus.
Never,
Yeah.
never mind the all the olive oil and other things I put on said
I
asparagus.
know, a little garlic, little salt, little Parmesan cheese.
Man, now I'm getting hungry. God damn.
God, slivered almonds.
Slivered almonds. So I'm a texture freak, which is
Slivered
why
almonds on
which is
that.
why I love a lot of different Asian foods, because anything you can add like peanuts to, or
Pine nut.
yeah, like I love texture. Like if you got a soft and savory with a fucking crunchy and salty, oh my god, I'm fucking sold, dude. Like cashew chicken. Oh fuck,
Yep.
man, that's the bomb right there.
So I'm a sushi nut, and like the weirder it is,
I love
better.
sushi too. I love sushi too.
Like-
Absolutely.
So
Really? You know what? I gotta try someday. I gotta try it.
I fell in love with all Asian foods when I lived out in Seattle. Oh,
I am like this old and never have had like sushi.
That's okay.
I know. It's crazy.
Like, because Seattle's a haven for fucking Asian food. And, like, teriyaki places on every corner. And,
And
chicken
who
teriyaki is so
Who would have
good.
thought sushi was a hippy dippy thing?
go to Tokyo Steakhouse down in Port Huron.
That's what I've heard. I heard
They're
it's
really
phenomenal.
good, and the hibachi is phenomenal. But like, get some sushi, because everything there is good. I have not had anything that was bad. I've had the raw stuff. I've had the cooked stuff. It's
Yeah.
all really good.
I mean, I like rice. I mean, I like all that stuff. I just never
So-
really
No, for
put it all
me,
together.
the best part, of course, is the ginger, as well as the shit. Drawing a blank.
Wasabi.
Yeah, the wasabi. Thank you.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, the combination of the wasabi and the ginger. Oh, fucking money, dude. That's how you live. That's how you feel alive. It clears those sinuses out, and you're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a good day today.
I've had wasabi once on a cruise. Did like the whole
Wasabi.
chop thing, like, you know, where they're like, they got the
Hibachi.
eggs on the spat. Yeah, it's like totally entertaining while you eat.
They're really good at that down
They
there.
are. Well, I don't know that there, but on the cruise ship, oh my god, the guy was like freaking amazing.
Oh, they got a little. They got one a little. You know, they put the oil on stuff with a little like guy that pees on it.
Yeah. He's like, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
That's some good shit right there. It's dinner and a show. Really. That's the,
Well, food is entertaining, and it should be,
it should be an event. Food should be an event, which is why that's my argument for barbecue. So really, when you're making barbecue,
it's an event. It's an all-day party.
And it shouldn't be just you out there doing the barbecue.
And if you're not feeling committed to like, I want to go try a bunch of, sushi's kind of expensive, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
But if you're non-committal and you're like, I just want to try some and see if I even want to eat it, Kroger's have a really good, no joke. They have an actual Asian person and they're making it.
Meyer does a good job with theirs too.
Meyer does a solid job with theirs. So important.
Not as good as Kroger, but Meyer does it.
Oh, because Meyer hires the Mexicans to make their.
Yeah, Mexicans make your fucking. Although if you walk into an Italian restaurant anywhere and there's not a bunch of Mexicans in the kitchen, leave right away because it's not going to be good Italian. That's what my Mexican friend Frank told me a long time ago. He's like, if you walk into an Italian joint and you look in the kitchen and there's no Mexicans back there, leave.
Well,
thank you, Frank. I love you, buddy.
So Mexicans make good Italian?
Mexicans make good everything.
Well, God, who can argue with a taco? I mean...
They perfected food. Mexicans perfected food.
A taco, you can pick it up and eat it. No utensils needed. I mean, God, it's like the perfect food. It's got like carbs and protein and dairy and vegetables all in one.
And you can dress it in a way to suit your taste buds. Whether you like something overtly salty, whether you like it to finish with like spice, whether you want something with a little bit of texture, whether you want something that's like savory. You can do everything to a fucking taco.
You can add like guacamole or add an avocado.
So you can add some richness.
Cream.
Yeah. Creaminess, richness.
Sour cream.
Yeah.
Or hot sauce.
Any aspect of whatever aspect you love about food, you can add to a goddamn taco.
Chunky salsa.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, taco is the ultimate food.
So tacos are like the vodka of foods because they're a blank canvas. You can do with them whichever you please.
And you can
if you want lettuce, if you want onions, if you want anything, like add anything to fucking tacos, dude.
Yeah.
I've seen insane people add like kimchi to tacos, and I'm like, I don't know, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is really good. Yeah.
Does that make it a Chinese taco?
Well, yeah. More Vietnamese, but yeah.
Oh.
I got to go back to sushi here for a minute.
Korean.
I was in Louisville, all places, at a trade show, and I was there with a
Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville.
Louisville.
So we were in Kentucky,
getting lucky in Kentucky,
and so two amazing things happened. One, we went to a bar. And I was there with a company.
Wait, what?
Like we were there like co-hosting a thing with a company, and this is when we were doing our propane systems,
and propane accessories.
So we were there with a small propane company, and there was a much larger propane company that was kind of.
Were you rivals?
Yeah, well, they were rivals with this larger propane company.
Did you guys have like a West Side Story fucking dance-off fights?
No, this story is even better than this.
Go on.
Big
Sorry.
dog puppies.
Sorry to interrupt.
So. This is even better than that. So we're sitting there, and I get an alert on my phone, and I look up at these guys, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And one guy looks at me, he's like, he's from the rival company. I mean, it was a friendly rivalry, but still a rivalry, kind of. And he goes, what? What's the matter? And I'm like, oh, you don't know yet.
Oh, your ass better call somebody.
And he was really high up at this company, right?
Yeah.
And, at his level, there were only 4 people in the company at that level. And his phone dings.
Ding!
And he looks, and he's like, oh, what the fuck?
Did your company acquire his company?
No. Another company did, like a much larger company. And he goes, fuck, I'm fired.
Oh, shit!
He's like, I've pissed off so many people at that company. There's no way that I can keep a job there.
Were the shots on him for the rest of the night?
No, because he was afraid he did not have a job any longer.
Oh, man.
He should have maxed out his expense account on the way out.
The small propane company that I was with,
I would
max her out.
I doubt that his expense account was still valid.
He was fired that instantly.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like, boom,
you out the door,
really?
bitch.
And, well, they were told not to go back to the show the next day. This was on Friday. The show
That's
still went
pretty
Saturday.
fucking bad.
It actually was Saturday and Sunday, and they were told not to go back
I've been
to
in
the
some
show.
dire situations,
No,
but never that bad.
dire. No,
Yeah.
they always wait until the next Friday.
Right.
Because you always get fired on Friday.
We find
Never
it's
on
best to
Monday.
let people
Yeah.
go on Fridays.
Well, they told them don't go back to the show. Monday they did get fired. When they got in and went to work, they did get fired. And I'm still friends with the guy on Facebook, and now he's with another propane company.
We'll have him call into the show and let's talk about
So
it.
once you have gas, you always have gas?
Yeah, you always have it to sell.
I can't quit
Yes, you're
you.
very
I
gaseous.
can't quit you.
And there's so much money in that.
Is it really?
People don't even understand.
You don't even.
Holy
It's
shit.
almost a bigger racket than real estate.
Did you know that?
Well, stop it.
Did you know that?
Everybody's a real estate expert, so we don't need.
It's a huge racket. I see the money that some of these people
Stop
pull in,
it.
and now I know why some of these brokers to the south that are legacy brokers that are on their second or third generations all have hot wives. I get it because they make fucking bank.
All right, well, just for the
I
record.
think you know the realty company I'm talking about.
I do, and I'm first generation, and I don't have a hot wife. Just.
Well, if you want a hot
You
wife,
could.
call us at 810-294-0455.
Yeah,
if you want to be Julie's hot wife.
Yeah, like.
Have you ever thought about swinging that way?
No, never.
Would you? For
No.
somebody hot enough? If they were attractive
Fuck,
enough?
no,
Really?
No.
Why
Fuck,
not?
no. God, no.
Really?
No.
I've been trying to hook Phil up with a hot dude.
No.
So-
no. You know, the gate swings one way.
But, I mean...
No.
So you've never
no.
Maybe if you watch some like scissoring videos.
So have you, no. So if you've never felt yourself attracted to another woman,
No.
like an attractiveness at all.
No, not.
You never said another woman's beautiful, and I find her
have.
attractive.
I find women are beautiful. I find beautiful women. I know lots of beautiful women who are my friends, and they're beautiful friends. They're
okay.
They're
I'm
beautiful,
okay with
they're
this. I'm
beautiful
just
people, but no, I am not sexually attracted to them.
because
No, I'm not.
Generally, if you had to think about your life, probably 80% of all your problems stem from a dick.
You know what? We're going to up that to 90%.
So there you
95,
go. So
but
why would you not swing the other way then?
because
Eliminate the problem, right, Adam?
That's what I
no,
say.
because sometimes they're the solution too. So you know, it's just all.
So dick is the cause and the solution to all of our problems.
Pretty much, just
If you're a female. Well, if you're a straight female. Sorry.
Straight female,
Didn't mean to
yes.
alienate part of our audience. I'm sorry.
We have an audience?
No.
Okay.
I don't know how these people in Israel feel, but you know,
The Jewish people do not like lesbians.
with their hands.
you know what? Yeah,
They feel with their hands.
They can read Braille.
Yeah.
And this podcast exclusively composed in Braille by the Helen Keller Society.
The Helen Keller Podcast Emporium.
yeah. 'cause
So I
we
have
have
a
lots
part.
of listeners in the Helen Keller Society because you know they all have.
We do, and that Anne Frank joke went over very well.
Yes. So I have a part 2 to this story.
Go on.
So the company that I'm with, which was the number 3 size propane company that just moved to number 2,
We're
the
number
country.
2.
they said, "Hey, we got to go celebrate." So they knew, from being at this show before, they knew of a sushi bar. So we went to this place, and they have these paper menus.
Right.
And you write in, you put a 1 next to if you want something or a 2.
9!
And they literally just wrote a 2 at the top and just a line through everything at the paper.
Oh, my God. That would be
So
wonderful.
This old Japanese guy comes out. He goes, you seriously want to order this? And the one guy's like, yeah.
That
He
was
goes,
not cultural misappropriation.
No. That's exactly how he said it. He
Right.
goes,
You want to do this?
yeah, he goes,
Do this?
you really want to order this? And the guy's like, yeah, yep. And he goes, okay, we shut down, we close, we only help you. And our bill at the end of the night was $4,800.
And you made their nut for the night because had you not done that, they would have made like $700 for the night.
Yeah.
You know what?
So not only did they order 2 of everything on the menu, like
Did they serve it on like a naked Asian chick? Like
No.
as a smorgasbord?
no, there were none of those there.
Damn it.
These were all just dudes making fish meat.
Well, it could have been on fucking Naked
fish
Dude.
meat art.
It was a whole bunch of Mexicans making Japanese. Is it Japanese?
Yeah,
Japanese?
Sushi's Japanese.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
But like, not only was it like all of that,
So they
it
had
was,
all the Mexicans working out back to make this happen.
they
Right.
put the line through all of the alcohols that they had too, and some of the bottles of sake that they had were like $200.
Dude, I love sake so
and
much.
it was so good.
I love sake.
And we were so hammered
So
leaving there. I
we
was so
should-
glad we had to
okay,
get it.
so-
We are
So I have a-
getting
I have a
$4,800. How many people were there for $4,800?
18.
That's pretty
You know
good.
what? That's cheap. That's cheap.
Not really. You're
I
still
got
talking.
you beat. I got you beat. I went to a company little get together meeting to a company that I used to work with, and our bill for like, I don't know, there was like 16, 18 of us, no more than 20 tops. Over 10 grand.
Damn.
Dinner, drinks, everything, ice wine to cap it off, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, are you kidding? I was like, finance manager. I'm like, we can't spend this much money. We could have done all this with like a couple cases of Budweiser and some hot dogs around a bonfire, cooking our own shit.
and corn dogs.
No corn dogs.
No, you got to add the corn dogs.
But I seriously, the crowd that was with us would have been so happy with a bonfire, hot dogs, and beer, as opposed to $200 bottles of wine. That seriously, a bottle of wine is 4 glasses, and you have 20 people. That's one round. And I mean, honest to God, I was like, and then they paid for all of us to stay there, which that was like a whole separate bill. And I'm like, holy fuck, why? There's a lot of corporate money wasted.
So-
I'm sorry. But, again, we felt special. We felt very...
And
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what you're trying to do, is make people feel like ballers. They're
We
not going to do
did. I was a
my
baller.
story is a little bit of opposite of this. One time I was at the old golf course in Marlette. I was like 24 years old.
Oh, my God, I love
And-
that place.
And anyway,
Love that place.
I had never, ever bought a round for the bar. And there was probably 25 people in there, right?
Oh, my God, but it's
So-
$2 a thing. It was like $50.
Yeah, well, so I say, I say, all right, I want to buy a round for the bar. And so I buy a round for the bar. I had $20 in my wallet. So I turned to Rick Diamond and I'm like, dude, can you you got any money? He's like, yeah. I'm like, can you float me like $100? He's like, what? I'm like, I just bought a round for the bar. And he's like, no, do you think 100 will cover it? I'm like, I look around, I'm like, yeah, 100 will cover it. It was $64.
Yes. Told ya.
But I didn't have to buy a drink for the rest of the night, man. And those people were my best friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. And I can tell you who was there. There was like
Yeah.
Joe with the skull rings. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I paid Rick back. Mad Dog was there that night, too. It was fun. Kelsey was there that night, so they were all oogling at her ass. And I got so drunk, I fucking passed out in one of the side rooms, one of their banquet rooms, under a table. And she finally found me. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm fucking drunk. And it's no reason why she left me. There we go.
All right. Yeah, that's a good reason.
She had a great ass. Still does.
So
Now some big black dude is just fucking railing the shit out of her, though. Thank God. She accomplished her goals in life.
Well, that ruined
yeah.
her ass. That
Yeah.
ruined her ass.
He's built like a brick shit house, man.
Probably got a little pucker, though.
Well, he's in the military, and he's a runner, so sometimes there's pictures of him in those shorts, and you're like, yeah, you can't hide that.
yeah, good thing they're knee length.
Like, goddamn, like, good for you, girl. Like you thought my dick was adequate, but damn.
So I will totally
Wow.
let these people remain nameless.
Right.
But when I went to college, there was a girl that lived she lived with a couple buddies of ours.
Yeah.
And there was her and another girl and then 2 guys. And the 2 girls lived upstairs. The 2 guys lived in the basement. And, there was nothing going on there between any of them. But the one girl
That's bullshit.
started dating
Bullshit.
our buddy who played football there, Duran.
Yeah.
And he'd shoot me. I just used his name.
Oh.
He'd shoot me if I used...
No, names are changed to protect the not so innocent.
Yeah, well, he didn't go by that name. He got very touchy about that.
He
But
went by Durand.
He was a gigantic man. He was a lineman for Saginaw Valley.
Right.
But not fat, but the type of person that could rip you in half like a phone book.
Right.
And so she was dating him, and we had heard tales of this gentleman, and he wasn't shy about the fact that he was ginormous.
Right.
And so
he had big feet.
Yes.
Big hands?
Yes.
Big feet.
Big
He had big shoes.
Big thumbs?
Yes. Yes. And he, so one day we're just harassing the shit out of her. We're like, how do you even walk? She's like, what do you mean? We're like, oh my God, you haven't yet. And she's like, she goes, what are you talking about? We're like, you'll find out. Right. Then like a week later,
she goes, oh my God, my lung's been punctured.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my bladder's not the same anymore.
She's like, I have a sore throat. And it's like, yeah, you didn't suck on it
and
at
that's
all.
a kidney shifter, yeah.
Yeah, but it was just hilarious because she was like, oh, you guys warned me. We're like, we didn't warn you shit. We just when you hadn't walked funny.
So I have in good faith, a friend of mine dated JJ Watt when he went to Central. And apparently he's fucking hung like a fucking son of a bitch. She's like, I didn't even know what to do with it. He whipped it out, and I'm like, I'm dumbfounded.
Do I jump rope?
Right.
What,
like a blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So anyway.
Can I have a half order?
She's like, yeah, I did my best, but yeah.
Can I just have a half order?
Very unsatisfactory for him, she said.
Well, she didn't date him long.
No.
That's why all those guys have tall girlfriends, because they need to have like a
long vagina.
Mm-hmm. Well, they need to have a long rib cage, so it doesn't like puncture a lung. It doesn't like
give him a heart attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Like puncture a fucking
take out a gallbladder, anything like that. It's
just mix their guts around. Jesus Christ,
you gotta have a tunnel.
So yeah, apparently JJ Watt is a fucking massive hog, which good for you, buddy. So you're an NFL fucking all-pro and built like an Adonis, and you have a fucking big old cock.
Yeah.
Damn it. Life is not fair. Well, and he seems like a genuinely good guy,
I can identify
too.
with 2 out of 3 of those.
Right.
But you know
like
what?
An Adonis, yes.
You know what? And he's sitting there, and he's going home, and he's looking at his dad going, you motherfucker, look what you gave me. You gave me too much. Nobody can take this, and he's pissed.
Oh, I'm sure he's found.
Oh, he's found women that can take it all. Trust me, I've heard the stories.
Well, that's sad.
Have you hung out with any chicks at Central?
Right, Central girls. They're the kind I like. What was that song, man? There was a rap, right? Some dude. We should look that up. Central Girls. It doesn't have a copyright, I guarantee it. But it's a song called Central Girls. Some rapper. He went by what was his name?
What year was this?
It happened back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I would say 1998, 1999.
I was at Central.
And this guy released a rap called Central Girls. Yeah.
I did go to Central.
And he had a line in there talking about Lil Chef and fuck. God damn it. Have you found anything?
No, not yet.
Oh, man. What is the name of this dude? When we were there, it was just hitting, and people were fucking going bonkers for it because they're like, Central Girls. Fuck.
DJ Greenup?
Yes, DJ Greenup, you got it. That's the one.
Fucking Michael Jackson in this bitch. Yeah, y'all. If you don't know, now you know.
This is the live version.
Yeah.
Was this at the Wayside?
I believe so. It looks like it.
Yeah, this is probably at the Wayside, the meat market, man.
Oh, my God.
The fucking meat market. Oh.
I was there. I have been there.
We used to travel up. So we'd carpool up from Saginaw Valley to the Wayside, and never, ever once did we come back with everybody. Like, there was just a general rule, like, you just call where you need picked up at, we come get you the next day.
Right. And back in the day, we would just do that shit. So, play the Central Girls rap, man.
Sending girls powers with my magical powers. After hours taking showers with girls.
This is a terrible version. No, he has a studio version he did. This is terrible. This is way drunk. So look up DJ Greenup, Central Girls. There it is. He did a studio version.
All right. I'll be there in 5
minutes.
I need a girl, a Central girl to be exact. Yep, those are the best girls. As a matter of fact, I need a bunny. who don't care about the money. Cause I'm broke as hell, I know you think it's funny. Scoping honeys is my occupation.
There can't be a copyright on this, right?
I wouldn't think so.
I
think DJ Greenup's name might be Aaron Miller.
So give us a call, Aaron Miller.
810-294-0455.
I know your beaker's going to ping because we played this song on our podcast.
So I dated a Central girl for like a week.
Yeah.
And I get a call one day, and it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and she's just fucking hammered. And I'm like, hey, how's it going?
Was it a Saturday?
No.
Wow.
I was like, I had already gotten back from class, and she's hammered, and she just goes, I'm really sorry. I slept with this guy. I'm like, all right. We'll
turn the hook up.
That means that she didn't sleep with him. She fought.
Yeah.
This was the shit back in the day, man. Need a girl from CMU. We need to feature this. Thank you. We need to feature this song a lot more on this podcast, I feel like. DJ Greenup?
We need to get a hold of him.
I am.
Yes.
I am a Chippewa.
Well, you got his name. Yes. You got his name. So we always would bag the girls from Central back in the day because, you know what? Let's face it. They were easy.
Yeah.
No, we weren't. We were not all easy.
Most of you were.
We were not all easy.
Then you did not venture from Saginaw Valley to Central. Maybe it was just a Saginaw Valley.
I lived at Central for 4 years. Loved it.
A lot of the girls that went to Saginaw Valley were there on scholarship, and they were good girls, so they weren't banging anybody. But you'd go to Central, and those whores were just ready.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a teacher. You and everybody else I've fucked here.
Yeah, okay. All right, I get that. But the accounting people were a little uptight. We weren't that way. But I had some roommates that would train these people in and out. I'm not lying.
Yeah, if you want to get laid on any campus in Michigan, don't go to Central. Or go to Central, don't go to Saginaw Valley.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Central's campus is more...
Of course, anymore I don't know because the kids are all just fucking.
Well, and you'd go down Main Street, like where the frat.
I'll have 10 drunk girls waiting for you. I love that line.
There was like all the frat houses were down on Main Street, and we would drive down Main Street to go to Sir Richard's Pub.
Sir Richard's Pub
downtown.
Central girls.
That's where our upperclassmen hung out. We did not hang out at the Wayside.
So let me.
I got a piece, so entertain the kids.
Let me throw this part at you. There is a song literally about Central girls being hoes. How do you combat that?
You know what?
I mean, to be honest, I think this was after our time of being there. But like,
you know what? You can't, because no matter what campus you go to, you're going to have your hoes everywhere.
They hung out at the Wayside.
They did. Well, those were always the freshman girls. And let me phrase this. The townies would hang out. Like the non-college people would hang out at the Wayside looking for the college guys so they could hook up and become the misses without having to pay for college. So...
Smart move.
Yeah, so that's where a lot of that hoe thing came from, was from the townies.
They were hoes.
They were hoes. They were like local hoes from like Shepherd, Mount Pleasant, like Elma, like
all that whole
St. John. Is it not St. John? St. Charles. Is it St. Charles?
St. Charles.
Yeah. So the hoes from St. Charles would come in, and like they'd be like townies. They'd be like,
blame it all on St. Charles.
I'm not
Those
lying.
girls are saints.
Bullshit. I know some hoes from St. Charles that,
No,
still my boyfriend my freshman year, but whatever.
It was an
happened.
interesting experience in Saginaw because, Phil, where was the cool bar to hang out in Saginaw?
It was Bubba's at the time I was there.
When I was there, it was Hamilton Street, but that was because they had bands and we played there all the time.
We went to Hamilton Street too.
But like, it wasn't like there was no like dance club to hang out at. Like there was.
So there was a club that was between Bay City and Saginaw, like just near Delta's
Deja
campus.
Vu.
No,
it wasn't the Bay Street Ballet.
No, it was.
what was the name of that fucking club?
It had a tropical name.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was,
Yeah.
But it was
And
like
I didn't ever
somewhat
go there. I
tropical.
was never there. So I loved
didn't
all
go
of
there either.
Hamilton Street. I loved Old Town, but I hung out though. My college years were on Midland Street in Bay City because I worked in Bay City.
Oh, it was
All-
black
all
and
of us
blue.
were.
The black and blue.
Yeah, Midland Street Pub, all those. Yeah,
The black and blue is a good place.
right. Ratskeller,
Brewery.
the
Yeah.
Ratskeller. Oh, one
Yeah.
of my favorites. Still
Yeah.
there.
And there are some really cool bars in Mount Pleasant too that weren't necessarily like college bars. The towny
Central
bars,
Girls are the
Like,
kind
you-
I like.
you got to go. You know, like
We
the
got to
Bird
feature that song so
back,
much more. Let's bring it back.
Back in the day, the Bird was
Thank
the
you.
cool bar.
Yeah.
The Bird, but what I didn't know was when we first went to the Bird, that was a gay bar. That was like the first gay bar that we're talking 1980. I started there.
Did you
in
even know what
84.
gay people were in 1984?
No, fuck no, we didn't.
So you were watching Police Academy, and they went to the Blue Oyster, and you're like, "What the fuck? All
Exactly.
these bikers in leather?
I know.
All
So
these
then-
guys are great dancers.
They're really good
were.
dancers. They're nimble on their feet.
So then we'd go to the Bird and
There'd be all these good dancers. You're like, that dude's hot, and he'd be
Yeah.
like, "Girlfriend,
hot.
come dance with me."
and,
Yeah.
and they would bet like buy your drinks, and they were like so cool, and it's like. They were so kind and nice. It wasn't like threatening or
Of course
anything.
they are.
It was like a really cool, safe environment.
Of course, they are. Like,
And you know what?
If you have to judge
To
some of the
identify
the
as-
most non-threatening people on the face of this earth are gay guys. I swear to
Oh my God, gay
because
guys
they just
are so
want
nice to.
Well, let's
they're
drop
nice.
your wallet.
right.
No,
well,
but they're nice people. They don't mean anybody any harm.
No.
No, they really don't. And they were nice, and it was.
they're happy people. They're happy people. You know why they're happy? Because they don't have to
Because
put up
they're
with
gay.
fucking women.
This is why they're called gays, because
Right?
50 years ago or 60 years ago, gay meant happy. And it was like a happy
Happy to be
environment.
without the bitches.
That's right.
You know what?
And they take care of people. So my biggest group,
They were.
one of my favorite big groups
Nobody
of friends
ever
from
got
Seattle were
hurt
all
there.
the gay dudes. Although they fuck with me a little bit, but that's okay.
well,
But you know what? This just means that people.
so do the straight dudes, Phil.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
You know what? But people are essentially good. Deep down, people are essentially good. Society has made them bad.
So,
And our judgment of society has made them bad. Which leads me to my total rant of the day, which is coming up here today.
Let's take a break. No, let's not. Let's fucking go to your rant.
All right.
You're gonna have DJ Green Up playing in the background of your rant. I hope that's
All
okay.
right. Well, that's fine.
Give us a call, DJ Green Up at 810-24
And it's
294.
294-0455.
Nice.
well, all right. Well, so we're on the precipice of
Wow.
Black History Month.
That means the edge.
Yes, Black History Month is starting.
Why is it the shortest month of
Tomorrow.
the year? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, I know, but you know what? And I got thinking about this today as I watched the bald eagle cruise down the St. Clair River.
Bald eagles made you think of black people?
They're not bald.
No.
No, but listen. All right. The bald eagle is a symbolism of strength and unity, and it's strong. It's like a symbol of our country, correct?
Yeah.
Black
Yes.
history is a big part of our history as Americans. And what I hate to have canceled is yes, slavery is probably in effect. It's wrong today, but it played its part in history and should not be ignored. Where would the textile industry be today if we didn't have slavery to harvest all the cotton
Oh my
and
God.
provide industrialization for the new world? So seriously, it played a part in it. We would be 100 years behind
If not for slavery?
if it weren't for slavery. They played a part.
That's an
in the
interesting take.
They played a part in the Industrial Revolution, and their part should not be ignored. And
So, all right, no, wait. Can I frame this a little bit? So what you're preaching is we should celebrate we should celebrate all of the hard work under adverse conditions that these people suffered through and put in.
Yes.
The same thing with the Holocaust. Because the same thing happened with medical advances.
Am I trying to speak through what you're trying to say here?
You said it very eloquently.
Yes.
Julie was very racist about how she said it.
I was not very racist.
No, I know you were.
I understood what you're saying.
It
like
plays
these
a
people
part in our history.
These
and it should not be ignored. It should be acclimated, and we should not forget about that.
And not
part.
even these people. That was insensitive. But the plight of this group of people in history, really advanced us more than they are given credit for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? And if it weren't for them, we would be years and years behind in a lot of things. And that should be celebrated. Their work should be celebrated. And they were freed. And it wasn't right, but some of them, I mean, it wasn't right. And it's still not right, but we corrected it. We corrected it by freeing them.
Well,
but that part of history, if we forget it and cancel it out and ignore it,
it's doomed to repeat itself.
Exactly. If we don't learn from it and keep it as a record, we're going to repeat it.
Can I interject for a moment? What's happening right now with pay scales and wages and minimum wage jobs and humans? Is that not modern slavery, I feel like?
Now listen. There is a spot in American capitalism for minimum wage jobs. It's so people.
But minimum wage should mean you can still create a living on that wage.
No.
So you're saying minimum wage doesn't mean you should be able to live making minimum wage?
No, I think minimum wage needs to be. There needs to be those jobs so that there's an entry level point for
college kids, high school kids, working their way through and working their way up.
Unskilled labor does not require skilled pay.
Skilled wages. They don't.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. I don't want to be
example.
Callous about it.
So you don't want someone to be able to pay their rent working a job that they bust their ass at because it's a minimum deemed a minimum wage job.
But if that's all that they aspire to do, so let me give you.
Maybe they aspire for more, but they can't rise above.
Well, you know what? Then fucking pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get more. I don't know.
I know. I can say that. You can say that, but. Are you in those people's shoes?
Let me give you a quick example. So,
why are we like this society-wise? Why is the pay scale between CEOs, presidents of companies, so drastic between the lowest paid? That's where the inequality comes in.
But a lot of it is just because of longevity of the job that they're in. Most CEOs are not a CEO for more than a few years.
Right. And
that's number one.
Do you know the higher up the food chain you go, the quicker you go. I experienced it myself. I climbed up the food chain I got to a certain level.
People are promoted.
Boom, you're gone.
People are promoted to their highest level of incompetence.
Yes, and then they're let go. And then like, shoo.
Most of these people I deal with that have these vice presidents, these president tags, are terrible at their jobs because they can't handle it. But they wanted more. They wanted the promotion. They worked so hard at it that they didn't realize that maybe their lot in life was where they were at.
And maybe they should have stuck at their $40,000, $50,000 a year job.
No, and I'm talking about $150,000 to $300,000 a year jobs.
I know, but they should have stuck to their level of competence instead of progressing.
But no one does that.
So what I found.
But you have entry level.
Why should a CEO be paid $6.8 million?
You know what?
That company is making $68 million and he's 10% of the reason they're there, I mean, let's face it. There does come a point where the person that is making those level of decisions is so if they're a company that makes widgets, you're telling me the guy that sharpens the widget is worth
as much or more than the guy that's making the decision? No.
Of the guy who's like running the whole company? No.
So here's what I've seen in the whole grand scheme of things. That guy with his boots on the floor that's making your product that's going out the door every day knows more than 75% of the people above him about what it entails to make that.
And I would agree to that to a certain point. But did you know that the vast majority, like 75% or more, of CEOs are people that started that company.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. But
right.
here's what I say. If you're a boss, if you're a manager, if you're managing people, if you're a leader of men, people, if you're a leader
bring
of people
with you. Bring them up.
You should, and I've done this
Spread
too.
the wealth.
I've been a manager before, and I had 30-some people under me.
Did you share your salary? Oh my God,
no.
you want them?
No, but I spent at least half a day, if not a day, talking to and shadowing every single employee under me to figure out what their day-to-day life looked like.
Yeah, I bet you had them under you.
No, it didn't work. Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't like that, huh?
No,
but
I just say you have to walk a mile in their shoes to understand.
And you know
like
what?
As an engineer, when something's going wrong on the floor, the first person I talk to is the person who runs that machine every single fucking day.
For sure.
But
that's
let me
what you
throw
have
this
to do.
perspective at you because
right.
I've been in that role where I've had, not a multi-billion-dollar company or anything, but a large company for around here where I've been the guy in charge. I'm the one in charge of making sure that there is payroll. Yep. I'm the guy in charge of making sure that everything runs smooth. The customers are happy. The employees are happy. Am I not worth? Is my effort not worth more because of the scope of it?
It's worth more. It's worth more, but not grossly more.
That goes to scale of how big the company is. Because if you have a company with 10 employees, then you're worth, and you're putting in this much work. But if you have a company that's got thousands of employees, you're responsible for every one of them getting a paycheck. And there does come a point where
if I could ask a CEO of a company that makes $5 million a year, that has 10,000 people under him, if I could ask him to name 1,000 employees under him, he couldn't do it.
Who could? Name everybody on your Facebook.
How's that a good leader?
Name everybody on your Facebook.
Oh,
I could probably name 90% of them.
Okay, but it goes back. Like, take it back to like a small bank. Your tellers are your frontline people. Your tellers make or break your business.
So what you're saying is
what I'm saying is everybody knows what their job is, what their role is. So somebody may start out as a teller, and some people are like totally happy being a teller.
And what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. They love their job. They get paid a decent wage. They're fine with that. Then there's like a few of those people that say, hey, I don't want to be just a teller. I want to be a new accounts rep too.
I want to be a loan officer.
And they move themselves up through the ranks of the bank. And banks are notorious for paying their tellers shit, but their tellers are frontline people. And
so
if their
I
tellers
worked a lot of years at
But why would you do that?
But because
this is the face of your company. This is the face of your company.
Yes, but some people are happy with not having to be responsible.
So now you're just paying the lowest common denominator of people that are happy.
No, because they are happy doing what they do, and they like what they do.
So you're feeding off of their own insecurities that they don't want to advance, and they don't think they can advance. How is that proper?
Let me throw a totally different perspective at you.
So you want socialism? So actually,
no, I don't want socialism. No, not at all.
So then,
I just think the pay scale between the highest and the lowest is too fucking drastic.
Well, you know what?
But that depends. When you look at the responsibility that a CEO has of a multi-million, $100 million a year company, versus what a teller has to do to what the revenue that they generate, it's so vast different that there is a. Now, I will tell you, but answer me this: Bezos, who created Amazon, drives a Toyota, he's one of the richest people on the planet, but he started that company. And he is the CEO of it. Is he deserving of his pay? And who is to tell him that he's not? He started that company. You know what?
But
which is the case with most CEOs.
But he took the risk. The risk was his. And he took that risk to make himself bigger. He took the risk. He could have been just squashed and out it. Or he could have taken the safe route and said, you know what? I am just going to be a teller. I'm just going to be a customer service rep, and I'm going to take the safe way, and I'm going to stay safe and have my steady income and know that I'm always getting that, or I can put it all on the line and I can risk it and I can be the biggest success or I can be the biggest failure.
I
admire people that take risks.
I worked in banking
and do that.
I worked in banking for a lot of years.
I did too. And it sucks.
I was on the technology side. It really didn't suck on my end. I enjoyed what I did.
No, because you got paid to study. You got paid a decent.
Back
then you probably got paid like $19 an hour, and you were good.
Yeah, I was a little better than that because I was pretty high level.
Okay, well, I'm just saying,
So I watched our company go from when I started with our company, we were about $150 million bank. By the time I was done there, we were $1 billion bank. We had $1 billion holding company. Which one? Based out of Bad Axe?
Oh, First of Huron Corporation.
Nope.
North Star.
Yes. So
nailed it.
But
they're awesome. You know what? And I know a lot of those people. I used to work with a lot of those people. They are really good people, and they risk a lot going out on their own. They risk it because they didn't know whether they were going to succeed. This is what makes America great. Because they did it. They took the chance and they did it. And hats off to all of them that did it.
So when I started there, we were still under the original guy who started it. And he was phenomenal. I mean, I was lucky enough to have a position where they'd fly me down to Florida to work at our bank because they're a lot bigger than people think.
Oh, they are. They're huge. And yeah.
So they would fly me down in the company jet, and I'd get to fly down with the CEO, and he was also CEO of a whole nother company.
Yeah.
And which did a lot of manufacturing. And
they're amazing people. They're amazing. But so would you go, you don't deserve what you get paid because you know what, your employees don't make what you make?
No. I looked at him as somebody who was
and you
on
said,
the hook for every decision. And
exactly.
So what I saw in what he did and the decisions he made. Now, after he passed away and new people came in and took it over, the company was never the same. From what I understand, they've corrected a lot of things and they're a good company to work for again. But when I left, they were not. They were horrible. They had some people come in that were they kind of took things over that were just terrible. Money,
and it's greedy. But
when Bill Roberts owned that,
he was an amazing man. He really was.
He was phenomenal. I had so many great conversations with him. Flying down to Florida.
He was a great
back.
person. I met him, and
just
a phenomenal
human being.
And his heart was always in the right place. He always wanted to see everybody under him do better, make more. So that's why he strived to make his companies better, so everybody could do better, and he could pass it down. And that's awesome.
He knew how to. He knew how to use the average he had, leverage the advantage he had. So I have a great story about Bill. They were opening a new bank in Florida, and literally I got down there, and there's all these palm trees laying on the ground. They hadn't been planted yet, and there's no sod laid or anything. And this place, I got down there on a Tuesday before. They were supposed to open on Monday, the next Monday, and they were so far behind. He
went out and planted them himself.
No. He got down there. I'm down there on Tuesday. He got there on Wednesday morning, and I'm there, and I'm like, he's like, "How we doing?" I'm like, "No, not good at all." And he says, "Not good, because with the FDIC and stuff, you're very, very. When you say you're going to open, you better open.
Yep.
We're supposed to open Monday." And he looks at me, and Ann Hansen was down there with me, and he says,
"Oh, I like Ann. She's a good gal."
And we were down there, kind of the one supposed to get everything up and running.
Yeah, I worked with her when she was at Signature.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
great gal.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. So he looks at Ann and I, and he's like, "Whatever it takes." And we're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You have a blank check. Make sure we open Monday." And while it was a ton of pressure, we put so many hours in down there.
You know what? But
it was also okay.
But
get it
he
done.
made you feel so important by getting it done.
Yeah. And it was like, I mean, the blank check went for us. However many hours we needed to put in, however much overtime, he was good with it. It was a blank check, like just get it done. And it was awesome. I mean, I felt, so I'm sitting there and he's like, when I say blank check, I mean, you make sure this place opens Monday. Because
otherwise you guys are like dead to me.
Yeah,
but,
no, and I don't think he'd have been like that because he knew it was a challenge. But he literally gave us complete power. Like the people that were down there, he just told them, he's like, you do whatever they tell you to. They're in charge. No questions. Just do what they tell you to. And I mean, I was placing orders for stuff that I have no business placing orders for, because it hadn't been done. And
that's what's so cool, and that's what makes America great, is that you can have people like that have more money than God and power to get things done and make things happen. And it doesn't always have to be fair and easy peasy for everybody, and you don't have to make sure that Lucy and Lisa all get everything equal. And it's not all roses, man. Sometimes you have to just pull up your goddamn skirt and get to work and get it done.
So the greatest...
I think you think I'm advocating socialism.
I think you are. I got the feeling that you were.
Don't.
But
I'm not. I see people struggle every day.
But
I don't know. You don't realize what I see.
I
see the company making tons of profits, and we could be paying our people a lot more money.
No, but you know what? No, because you start paying them more money, then all of a sudden those coffers
You're part of the problem.
Oh my God!
So thanks for being an elitist.
I'm not.
It's not about being an elitist.
I'm not being an elitist.
Let me tell you a story that Bill had told me one time.
You have to keep some capital back to keep it going, to keep it further. Because the minute you start making immediate payouts is the day of your imminent death.
All right.
So
you know what? Let me just say this. I know nothing about business. I have an MBA. I know nothing about business. Let
me tell you a story that Bill told me one time, because this kind of answers the whole thing, and it's a great story. So we were flying down to Florida one time, and
I don't disagree with you.
And no, I don't disagree with you either. I think there should be more profit
This is
sharing.
why we live in a very economically depressed fucking area that's dying, because of people with thoughts similar to yours.
No, oh my God.
If that's what you want for your children and for the future, then go on.
No, but I haven't told my children to take an entry-level job and stay there.
Nobody's ever told their children that.
But many people do that.
They do.
And then they expect to make $15 an hour flipping burgers. Nobody flipping a burger.
That's not what I'm advocating. I'm saying that people that work harder than that should be paid for the work they do, is all I'm saying. And I see these people that have these outstanding skills and are working their nuts off and aren't getting promoted because nobody gives a shit. But the things they do aren't fucking easy, but they're not getting paid what they should be getting paid.
But the problem is you have people that do things that are easy that want to be paid what people who do things that are not easy are paid.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. Right now, you can go to Walmart and you can get a job within a few dollars an hour of what I see nurses making. Within a few dollars an hour. Yeah. And that's horse shit.
That is horse shit.
I can't disagree with that. But I'm just saying where I come from, in the factory I work in every day, these people do amazing shit, and a lot lot of them work their asses off. And they're not getting paid what they should be getting paid for their skill set and their level.
Let me give you a quick story.
You are correct on that. So
hold on.
Socialism.
I'm going to mute you guys in a minute.
Whoa.
Let me give you the story. So because this kind of ties it all together. So I'm on his private jet, his $20 million private jet or whatever the hell it was. Beautiful jet with a wet bar on it, the whole deal. And we're flying down to Florida. We left at 6 a.m, and we're flying down to Florida. And I asked him, like, how did you ever get started doing this? And he gave me the complete story. Went on for over a half hour how he got started.
He had not even 2 nickels to rub together when he started.
When he started, his wife was a registered nurse, but he was literally working in a factory making seat belts.
Yeah.
And he said, I decided that, my wife was done with nursing school. We had enough money that we could survive. I thought I could do a better job making the seat belts, and I had a friend that I worked with at that factory. We decided we were going to do it better. And So they started making seatbelts in a small pole barn, and pretty soon they added on the pole barn, and they brought on a couple of employees. And he says, we're like a year and a half into this, and we said, you know what? We need to sit down with our accountant and figure out, can we start taking a paycheck? We really need to start taking a paycheck.
And that's when he got with Heiser, Hill, and Cusack.
This was before all of that, actually. Oh. So he says, we sit down with our accountant and we're like, hey, can we start taking a paycheck? Are we at a point where... And he started laughing hysterically at us. And he says, guys, you're millionaires. You are literally millionaires and you don't even know it. He goes, yeah, start taking a paycheck. He goes, you have plenty of money. Start taking a paycheck. So here's two guys that were sick of making the minimum for doing a job that they thought, hey, we can do this better. We can make more money. And they went out and did it.
But how many stories are like that with all these people that are making?
Oh my God, there's more. There's more than
how
you
many
know.
people actually do that?
Because how many people like to just? There's so many people that like to feel safe and secure in what they do, and they're happy and they're content. They make enough money to support the lifestyle that they've decided that they want. And Bill decided that he didn't want that lifestyle anymore. He wanted a bigger.
Bill Roberts.
Oh.
He's the guy who owns North Star Bank.
Right.
Gemini Group, like the whole, owns 10 factories.
Well, tell him to call me.
You've seen...
Oh, well,
when next time you walk onto Ubly's Field,
yeah.
There's a big plaque because he gave a shit ton of money to the area schools and everything.
He gave back to everything, and he was not one of those arrogant, pompous asses.
My boss and I showed up one day.
He was a great man.
Oh, fantastic.
Is he passed?
Yeah.
Yes.
So my boss and
I didn't know we were a podcast about kissing rich people's asses.
that
have passed.
No, but the thing is,
you would never know that he's rich.
The thing was, you're right. You if you met him on the street.
Well, even his house in Ubly, I mean, it's a nice house, but you wouldn't go, multi-millionaire.
It wasn't pretentious.
Right.
It wasn't pretentious. And
thank you.
So this is what capitalism is all about. This is what America is all about. You make of it what you want. And I still think that, yes, there is some social discrepancies.
Oh, there's a lot of injustice. I mean,
but you know what?
Trust me, I also seen where because he joined up with several people who owned factories. So, the factories that Bill owned originally, those were the desirable ones to work at.
Right, because they paid well.
Thumb Tool, they paid well. And then there were factories that other guys that he kind of joined up with that for the longest time needed to catch up. I mean,
but the bad thing is about factories is because factory work is considered factory work is considered entry level. It's kind of like flipping burgers at McDonald's. It's entry level.
Yeah.
Until you work up to maintenance, until you work up into your skilled trades. You do, but America needs ditch diggers. They need production people, but it's supposed to be a stepping stone. People are supposed to move up and move on, and I mean, and if you don't move up and move on, and you're content where you are, then fine. You know what? Don't bitch at me for your lot in life because you never strive to be anything more. I don't want to hear people complain about that. I really don't.
And there is a aspect too where, the guy who comes out and drives a truck out to pump out my septic wants to make $25 an hour, and it's like, dude, you're shoving a hose in a shithole and flipping a switch. Yeah,
you know what? But are you going to drive out and no? You know what? That guy deserves that, and I will pay anybody $150 to pump up my septic tank.
Well, and also, Phil, you and I had a discussion about this earlier. Owning your own business never has everybody thinks that you make all this money doing
right,
and it's really not. Now, big corporations are a little bit different story.
But self-employed people, man, it's like if somebody wants to come out and pump out my septic tank and they tell me how much it is, and I'm like, if it sounds like too out of whack, I'll call and get a second price. And nope, the other price is right there. I'm like, you know what? This is what it costs.
Well, and also I feel that
You pay for it.
people get too much into the
Like,
mindset that
like,
I think everybody should make all this money, so maybe I should stop ever looking for anything to buy on sale. Maybe I should go and buy it at the most expensive place. And nobody does that because that's against human nature.
Right.
But maybe I should go buy it at the most expensive place because maybe they pay their people the most. Or maybe they're the small business
Right.
owner that I should give this money to so that they can keep going.
I support small businesses versus big corporations where...
Isn't that socialism?
No, it's not. Actually, supporting small businesses is not socialism. Supporting small businesses is actually capitalism at its best.
So,
because I support Raymond's Hardware, plug here.
Which, thank you. You're welcome to be a sponsor at any time on our radio station.
They have everything you need. You don't need to drive
our socialist
to a major
station.
city.
Yeah, our socialist radio station, I guess.
But seriously, why would you I like supporting smaller businesses that are owned by self-employed type people as opposed to corporations.
Isn't that spreading the wealth?
That have to answer to a board of directors and shareholders and such. I do like small businesses.
I also believe that small businesses need to compete.
They do. And
some do, some don't.
They do need to compete, but if they can't compete on price, they have to compete on service.
So let me throw this as the last thing before we end.
Yeah, we
need
to get out of here. This is terrible. This has been a terrible podcast.
So
the last 30 minutes
really
the last 30 minutes have been terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're going to get Neil Young's going to boycott us.
He already has.
No, you know what? Fuck Neil Young. I love Neil Young songs. I do. But, Neil Young has really disappointed me this week.
But Nickelback is going to endorse us.
Seriously, Neil Young
I don't think they will either.
Neil Young has really seriously disappointed me this week. Gotta say. I just
don't know why artists can't do their job and sing.
And just entertain.
Yeah, just entertain.
You know what? Why does he have to have a political stance? Living in the free world, he should endorse.
Notice, Phil, that I have not thrown out the word socialism or anybody's a socialist or anything like that.
Don't ever accuse me of being a socialist.
I do not disagree with what you're saying, that I think that people could make more.
And I see these people every day.
And
all I'm saying is I'm not trying. I'm not trying to say the person who works at the fucking gas station or the guy who flips burgers deserves X amount of money. All I'm saying is the people I see every day deserve more money for what the fuck they do.
Well,
and I think depends what company they work for, and it depends what they're doing.
But when I see the discrepancy about even what I get paid compared to the fucking CEOs or the people that have a title of VP, when I talk to these jokers sometimes, I know way more than they do. I'm way more educated, way more everything.
I understand.
But yet they're above me, so I'm supposed to just kowtow and I'm supposed to just fucking bow to them because their title is higher than mine.
And see, I don't think that you should have to bow or kowtow to anybody.
And I don't do that. And that's why I don't play nice in the sandbox.
Well, and you know what?
And that's the Tao of Phil. If I think you're a fucking idiot and you're a vice president, I'll tell you you're a fucking idiot.
Well,
I don't care.
And
and this is why I'll never make it.
Well, this is what my 6th grade art teacher told me. Mrs. Tubbs. Mm-hmm. Ginny Tubbs. Her husband owned Tubbs Brothers. She was the best art teacher ever. And she said, who stood outside the room when you were born and said life was going to be fair? She said, nobody stood outside that room and said life is going to be fair. She says, you work hard, you do your job, you be a good person. That's the best that you can hope for. Nobody ever said life would be fair.
That's fucking depressing. Why would anybody say that to a 6th grader?
Man,
but you know what? But how true is it? Because you know what? Life is not fair. And you know what? You get what you pay for. You get what you work for. And that's what she was trying to instill in us. You get what you work for. It's not going to be fair, and not everybody's handed an even deck.
But a lot are.
Now, see, my art
you
teacher,
get what you work for.
My art teacher was a little more realist. She was like, if a kid does a better drawing than you, and you want that grade, you steal that fucking drawing.
Right.
You steal that drawing from that kid. If you're bigger than that kid, you beat the fuck out of him. You steal that drawing, and you get that fucking grade.
Did you have Mrs. Nesbitt?
No.
But if I can interject, my art teacher in 3rd grade told me, your handkerchief over you self-sneezing is not good enough, and you're terrible. And then later she married my grandfather.
Ah! All right.
And that's a true story.
My art teacher also kind of married a guy like 3 months after he graduated.
Ooh. Scandalous. You'll hear that next time. We got to get out of here.
We do.
We're well over an hour in a terrible podcast.
Oh, my God.
He's Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. Julie Stoliker, thank you for joining us. Even though I'm not a socialist, I promise you I'm not a socialist. I've studied business inside and out. Not a socialist. If you could do anything or take anything from this podcast, it's make good choices.